Look at, she had a baby. Betty, good job, babe. Oh, he's like steaming. It's pretty cold out here. I'm gonna go talk to Mom and find out what's going on. Get out the newest member of the farm. Betty just had her baby. She's doing a good job cleaning. I'm coming out. I'm just making sure that she gets him cleaned up and dry, nice and dry, because it's kind of chilly out. I also want to make sure that it starts to eat. They need to eat food like within the first hour. And I noticed, and she's kind of being a little funny about it. And she did this last year. We thought because she's a new mom or a young mom that, oh, there he goes. Come on. Good job, buddy. I think he's trying to find them teats, but it's hard through all that wool. You gonna be a good mama? Last year she had 2 babies. A part of me is kind of wondering if she still is gonna have another one. So we woke up a little extra early. We're gonna have to kind of camp out with these guys and keep an eye on them. Alright, I gave Betty some hay. I'm gonna try to get some straw up in there for him. I just want it to be nice and dry up in there. That way if he decides to lay down, you know, he's not laying down in a cold, wet spot. He needs to stay dry. That's very important. That's almost just as important as them drinking that first colostrum milk from their mom. They really got to get dry quick. I mean, it's still springtime in Michigan and it's pretty chilly out here. All right, we had something going into our bins, our food bins. We've been getting robbed. So I set a live trap up. Let's go see if we caught anything. Oh, we caught something. But it's not the right thing. I set up this trail camera here and I caught 2 really big raccoons. They come in here at night and they kind of mess around. But you're not the one that I thought. I love possums. Possums, they always act so mean, but I don't even think they've ever bite, do they? They always just open that mouth up. I've never actually seen them bite. What's up, buddy? He's a little guy. Look at that tail. Well, that's cool. He definitely wasn't the one robbing my bins. So I'll have to keep trapping. Man, my raccoons around here are really getting smart because they're getting hard to trap. I feel like they've been in my trap before. I think I gotta take them a little further away when I relocate them. He's really trying to nurse. It's okay, babes. It's okay. I hope I'm not being too intrusive. I'm gonna back up a little bit. She's still cleaning. There, he's gonna go for the milk again. Come on, buddy. You gotta try to find it up in there. She's telling him to. She's telling him, go ahead, nurse. That's a signal from the mom when they lick their behind, just above their tail or right under it. They're trying to tell him to nurse. Good job, Betty. Man, I think Betty might finally be able to do it this year. She's doing good. Right now, I think she might be trying to nibble off some of that umbilical. The sun is coming up slowly, but it's coming. Once that sun gets up, it will be a little warmer out here. I won't be so worried. I let Bambi out with Darling because I didn't want them to bug her. And sometimes Bambi can play a little rough. I didn't want her to come up in here and start tossing him around. It looks to me like he's nursing. I mean, I can't quite tell if he's actually getting to a teat or not. But he's definitely getting up in there. I want to get up in there and spread that straw around just a little bit more, but I also don't want to go in there and bug him, especially right now when he's trying to nurse. I think he's nursing. I think it's happening. I think she's gonna be a mom. That's awesome. I kind of hope, I mean, it'd be nice if she had twins, but twins is definitely a big plus with sheep. It doesn't happen as often as goats. But there's a part of me that kind of wants her to just be done. She's a small sheep. One baby at a time is fine with me. They do seem to be doing pretty good. She's got some hay in here now that she can chew on. Is that your baby? Good job, Betty. He's still pretty wet. I mean, when I was out here a half hour ago, he was steaming. He was just born. I don't know if you heard that or not, but he did get a little vocal. So that's good. You know, when they start bleating like that, you know that there's not a bunch of fluid in their lungs. So he's making good sound. He really is trying to nurse. I can't tell if he is or not. It's hard with sheep because of all the wool. We don't normally shear them until the end of April. Sometimes even into May, depending on the weather. It gets real cold at night and we don't want them to get too cold. So we don't want to shear too early, but at the same time, it's like this is the time of year they have kids and it'd be a little easier to get to those those udders without all that wool in the way. But I'm sure there's some sort of natural instinct for them to kind of search for it. But we have colostrum inside. We have whole cow's milk. We're ready to go with bottles. He's so cute. We already have one bottle baby, so if she decides not to be a good mom, it's not a big deal. You know, we're already doing 3 bottles a day for the one. Man, that air getting in there is kind of cold. I might put a blanket on this doorway. All right, put this blanket up. It's gonna be kind of dark in there, but there's some cracks in the wall, so they should be able to see. He's standing in a nice pile of dry straw. If he decides to lay down, he's at least in a dry spot. He almost seems a little curious. I think he's getting milk because he doesn't seem so desperate, you know? Kind of wondering what mom's doing. I'd put a bowl of water in there, but she knows where her water is, and I don't want to put a bowl of water in there and then him get confused and accidentally fall in it or try to lay down in it. So I'm just gonna put the hay in there. If she gets real thirsty, she knows where it is. What's up, Wu-Tang? You're a dad again. What you think? Are you a proud papa again? Good job, buddy. You're a good dad. You gonna be nice to him when he gets big? We're not normally out here this early. Our feeding time's a little later in the morning. So all of our animals are probably wondering what I'm doing out here. I had to throw some hay to the donkeys because I knew they were gonna yell at me the whole time I was out here. But yeah, the sun is coming up now. So it should start warming up pretty quick. I'm gonna go back in and refill my coffee. I'm not running on much sleep right now. There, I don't know if he was trying to lay down or if he was trying to nurse. And I get down on that one knee like that, it's like he's looking for milk. She's still cleaning on him. She's still doing the mom thing. That's a good sign. She definitely wants him to nurse. It's just, can he find the udders, you know? All right, I'm gonna go refill my coffee and we'll come back out in about 10 minutes and check on him. I just gotta say real quick, don't ever underestimate an S10. This little bad boy here is just a little 4-cylinder stick shift, and it can get some hay. What's up, guys? I bought that cool safari hat yesterday at an auction. I always thought that they were like a cardboardy, like khaki or something, but it's a metal hat. I thought it would fit pretty good on my emu enclosure. As going in there some days is like a safari. That one right there, I'm pretty sure she's the next one due. And she's gonna have more than just one. Aren't you, Pepper? You're gonna have a whole bunch of babies. What are you doing, duck herding? All right, it's been about 10 minutes. Sun is up now. I think she had her at the coldest temperature of the day. How's it going, guys? Backside looks like. It usually gets really gunky and kind of gross with all that wool. It takes a few days to dry out and kind of clean off. Who's bumping our house? Who's bumping the house? Bambi, what are you doing? You got birds all over you. What are you doing? What are you doing with all these birds all over, dude? Oh my God. Come here. Get that off of you. I swear, Bambi could have her own YouTube channel. She's crazy. What's up? I love your little spots you got on your head. Good looking sheep. I showed the video to my wife and she said that she's pretty certain that he was nursing. So she's drying him off. That's step one. Step two is getting him fed. And step three is just keeping him warm for the rest of the day. As long as he gets dry, they're born with a pretty significant coat on. They can handle pretty cold temperatures as a baby. But it's just really important that they're completely dry before they go out into the elements. We're finding out, honestly, with animals and cold temperatures, that's the main thing. It's not having like this really well insulated house with heat lamps or anything like that. It's the main thing is the animals stay dry. They're very hardy. They can handle cold temperatures. It's just they can't handle them when they're wet. I think that leg action is her telling him to go further back to get to the udders. And then when she starts to lick his behind, that's another signal to tell him to feed. At the same time, I think she's kind of drying him off still too. But everything seems to be going as planned. I just wish she wouldn't have had him in the middle of the night. It was really cold when I first came out here. Pretty dark too. But like I told my wife yesterday, she was in labor yesterday, so I think she was trying to hold it off as long as she could. I mean, you know, to a certain extent, they don't have any control over it, but I think she was trying to hold off until morning, you know, that way she's got better chances of keeping him warm. What's up, guys? I'm gonna sit here, drink my coffee, hang out with my emus and my possum and Bambi. Bambi, what are you doing? Leave the possum alone. Man, look at that coat. He's a really pretty possum. Usually they're a little bit mangier than that. But I got my trail camera here. I want to see what happened last night. There's one of the raccoons snooping around my bin. The possum's in the cage there. So far I'm only seeing one raccoon. The possum's in the cage. It didn't catch it getting caught, apparently. Look at this. That's a big raccoon. That's like a 30-pounder. I mean, look at this. Raccoon is very suspicious of my trap. He wants to go in, but he doesn't. Yeah, so what happened is the raccoons came. They were kind of suspicious of my trap, so they didn't want to go in. And then this guy came along and he didn't care. He walked right in. And then after he set the trap, the raccoons still couldn't get into the bin. So they were then starting to get back to this trap, but they couldn't get in because you already sprung it. So I still got the two problem children out roaming around in this woods. And I got this guy. He's probably pretty harmless. I don't even know if I want to relocate him. Possums are pretty nomadic. He'll probably move along on his own. I say that, but I have had possums come inside my chicken coop and eat chickens. They are predatory. And they go inside and eat nests too. They'll get a hold of your eggs. So I probably will still relocate him now that I think about it. He's not super old. Get back. You're stressing him out. He's not super old. He's not that big. I've seen way bigger. And usually possums, they don't hibernate like most animals around here. So you can usually tell how old they are by how frostbitten their ears are. He's got a little frost tips, but it's not that bad. I don't think he's very old. Yeah, technically these guys originated on like the southeastern side of North America. And they migrated with settlers because they followed the trash. You know, as we threw all of our trash out, it made a lot of these zones that weren't habitable very habitable. When you got trash cans and stuff, you can roam around and loot. So they're up with us now. I think they're technically considered native, but if you know the history of possums, they're really invasive to Michigan. It's North America's only marsupial. They actually have a pouch just like a kangaroo. When their babies are first born, they're only the size of honeybees. Hey, what the heck? It's not breakfast time, dude. You can wait another hour. Yeah, they're pretty cool. They're disease resistant, so you know, you don't have to worry about like getting rabies or something. They remind me of just a giant rat, you know, that tail. It's just like a giant rat. Look at those claws. Like I said earlier, they always act like they're gonna do something, but if you watch videos online, they never really bite anybody. I don't know why, I'm having a really hard time catching these raccoons. Ever since my guinea enclosure got raided, if you guys have been watching, you know we lost all 3 of our guineas to a couple of raccoons. It's probably the same raccoons, but they've become nemesis of mine, enigmas that I cannot catch. They're very savvy and they seem to understand the way this trap works. So I'm just gonna keep trying. One of these days, they're gonna screw up. You got an attitude this morning, Lecter. Trying to pull my hat off? Okay, I'm gonna go do one more check on this baby lamb and then go inside and take a little break. Give these guys a break. I want to make sure that they're okay, but I also don't want to be a problem either, you know. Let's see what's going on. What's up, Betty? How's that baby doing? Where is the baby? Oh, right there. All cuddled up. Nice, in a good dry spot. He doesn't really seem cold. I mean, he's not shivering or anything. Newborn babies, they do like to lay down a lot, but at the same time, it's kind of, it makes me a little nervous. Make sure you're giving this baby some milk. She's had a really crazy night. You know, I'm sure she's exhausted. He's breathing pretty good, you know, I think he's just balled up, you know, trying to take it easy. I'll come back out in a little bit. The temperature doesn't feel too bad in here. I mean, I'm standing at the doorway, so it's a little chillier, but as I poke my head in here, it feels pretty good. I'm gonna come back out. I mean, to me, everything seems normal, so I'm just gonna come back out and check on him in a little bit.